What's good, y'all? It's your boy Muhammad Sanu. We here live at a Trail Report. You know what I'm saying? My boy C Hill. Y'all better stay tuned. You heard? Being talk.
The Ravens are in a tough spot with Lamar Jackson. The cap number for 2027, his last real year, is $85 million. dollars. The only way to get that lower is to get a real extension done. But what motivation does he have now? Unless you give him whatever he wants. And if you were going to give him what he wants, why didn't you do that by now? So, Lamar Jackson's contract is being back on the table of being talked about. This time, it actually is due to a positive thing. Lamar Jackson showed up to support his new head coach, Jesse Minter, by showing up at non-mandatory workouts for the Baltimore Ravens, but that raised the question of how are the Ravens going to make their cap situation better and their money situation better, because Lamar Jackson's contract is almost up as far as being, having him under contract. As I read earlier, as you guys heard, his last real year is getting $85 million. So now the Ravens have the question of how are they going to keep Lamar Jackson, keep him happy as well, but also how are they going to keep him in general. And getting into that, I would just have to say this. The question of giving him whatever he wants, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm past the point of questioning if that's a smart move. I'm past the point of questioning that. Lamar Jackson is a two-time MVP. He's shown the Ravens everything I feel like he needs to, other than many would argue a Super Bowl. But once again, that's a team accomplishment. You can't look at a player in NBA free agency and says, well, he hasn't won the NBA championship, so he wouldn't be valuable to he's not valuable for us to keep. Well, an NBA championship is a team accomplishment. No one player can do that. That is a team accomplishment. That means the team has to be good. A lot has to go in your favor. You have to have a little bit of luck on your side. God has to literally shift the odds in your favor, and it just has to be one of those years. The Ravens have not gotten that to happen. So the thing is, I don't believe at this point that Lamar Jackson has done anything to where he should be able to get anything he wants in Baltimore. I don't even think that's a question at this point anymore. You guys can obviously state your opinions and reasons why in the comments below. I would love to hear them. But the thing is, I don't necessarily know if it's a bad thing for them to be faced with this situation. And I think that article that I read brought up a great point. If Lamar Jackson's contract was going to get you here anyway, why wouldn't you just make sure that this was taken care of before and pay him whatever he wants? That way we wouldn't be in this situation now, or you wouldn't be in this situation now. It's always a smart thing in my estimation. Obviously, I'm no GM. You guys know Chill is no GM or in any front offices or anything like that. If there is anyone in the front office of a team, please state your opinion on this in the comments below. Would love to hear about it from an official standpoint. But in my opinion, I always side on these things as far as this. If you know a player's contract is coming up, or you know a player that is really good and you want to retain, the quicker you get that contract done, the better. I always say that, because what you risk is, a Kenneth Walker situation. He goes to the Chiefs after balling out with the Seahawks. Or you risk a situation to where you lose the asset because you didn't have the money at the time where you needed it, but if you would have paid him in advance, you would have never got to that situation. So I feel like it's a thing of, it's better early and just pay him early. That way, okay, the reason I say it is this, let me explain. If you pay him early, if he has a great season and wins you a Super Bowl and he has great stats and over 5,000 yards and the whole nine, right? He does all of that. He's still under contract. He can be unhappy all he wants, but he's still under contract. He signed. Y'all put pen to paper. The contract is inked. He's under contract for however many years, 4 years, 5 years, however many years you guys have inked a contract for. He's under contract. It's nothing that player can do other than just requesting a trade or sitting out and losing out money. But there's nothing that they can do as far as they can ask for more money. But I mean, you're under contract. It is what it is. So there's nothing the player can do to necessarily dispute that, like I said, other than just sitting out or requesting a trade or being, unhappy about it. But I mean, he's under contract. It's nothing that they really can do. He's under contract. So the leverage shifts back to your side because you're under contract. And if the contract is done correctly, the player will be happy. Now obviously, like I said, if he has a great season and all of that, he'll want more money. That's natural. But that's going to happen because he sees the market going up and, this quarterback got this and that quarterback got that and, okay, he got this. Okay, well, my money is here. I want to be there. So that's how you guys know we all are sports fans here. We all know how this goes. The quarterback or whatever position, wide receiver, running back, whatever. They get their money and they see, okay, well then other quarterbacks or other players in the league at my position are getting this, so I want to get that. But what happens is when they're under contract is you can see that and admire that all you want to. You're under contract for 4 more years, so until them 4 more years are up, you can't necessarily get that money. You're just where you're at. It just is what it is. And now, if you're not under contract, like a Lamar Jackson situation, you fall into the trap of this. Okay, this quarterback got. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical number. It's eventually going to get there, but this quarterback got $325 million. Well, I want 340. It's always going to happen. And if you're not under contract, like a Lamar Jackson situation, now the team has no leverage because either give me $340 million or I'm out. You take away your options to be able to compete. To have leverage as a team because you didn't get the contract done sooner. It's just that simple. And so I feel like they have backed themselves in the corner as far as that, which I feel like is always a not smart move. Just me being honest with you guys. That's always a not smart move. I feel like always go earlier rather than having to be forced into this type of situation. Now, on the bright side of this, yes, you have lost all leverage. Yes, unless you just want to lose Lamar Jackson completely, which is, trust me, in my opinion, you definitely don't want to do that. But I feel like if you got to pay a quarterback, Lamar Jackson is the guy you would have to pay. Lamar Jackson is a great player. I mean, in my opinion, has done for the Baltimore Ravens more than they could have hoped for, in my opinion, as far as just being a quarterback that they can always, I guess you could say hope, or not hope, but always have those super high expectations on. What I mean by that is certain quarterbacks, you pretty much know, and I talked about this with the Good Enough video that I did, the Good Enough quarterback video. Certain quarterbacks, you pretty much know what your ceiling is going to be. Lamar Jackson, we know what the ceiling is for him, in my opinion. It's Super Bowl. The ceiling for him is getting to a Super Bowl and getting a ring. That's the Super Bowl for him. So until he gets to that point, he has nothing but room to evolve and room to get better. And I feel like that if you have to pay someone, he would be the guy that you would want to have to pay. Just look at stuff he's done. Okay. Over 22,000 yards in his career, 187 touchdowns, 2 MVP awards, and 4 Pro Bowls in 8 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens. That's worthy of having to pay, and I would have no problem having to pay Lamar Jackson, especially with the rock. In my opinion, the rock he's been for the Baltimore Ravens, with them being able to bring in anyone, and somehow, like the Ravens have been able to bring in anyone, like as far as receivers or anybody to the team, and Lamar Jackson, from what I've seen, hasn't had an issue with it. Hasn't had a problem with it. Like he's just, in my opinion, Lamar Jackson is a just whatever the team does, he'll roll with it. Like if they bring in two new receivers that people say are not that good, he'll just be like, okay, well, we got two new receivers, and I'm happy to play with them. And pause on that, but I'm happy, to see what they can do on the field, and he just rolls with it. He's that type of person. That type of player and person. With him making the money that he makes, that I feel like is a great quality as well, because he doesn't really have too many complaints. Now the everything has a downside. The downside would be the injuries. He's had a couple injuries throughout the course of his career. He has only played maybe 3 fully healthy years, where he played like the full season. Now he was fully healthy last year, and that year he had over 4,000 yards. So that, when he is fully healthy, he's an animal. But the injuries have kind of been there on and off throughout his career. But no player can control that. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback, but he gets injured a lot. He can't control that. So I feel like that shouldn't even be necessarily on his track record. But the injuries are there. They're part of the game. We get it. But I feel like for them to have put themselves in this situation to where they have to pay Lamar Jackson, and they're going to have to pay him what he wants or he's going to walk, then I feel like that's kind of just falls on the front office not being as savvy as they would have wanted to be. They reworked the contract, but the thing about reworking the contract is, number one, you pay a player what they would have gotten over a longer period of time. That's normally what happens. Like I said, I'm no cap genius, nothing like that. I'm just saying from what I have read and researched about contracts and stuff, from teams doing it and reworking contracts and restructuring all of that. What it does is it pays the player what they would have gotten over a longer period of time, which can be good. It can be good until I feel like you run into a situation like Lamar Jackson to where that's great, but now how are you going to keep him? So that's where I feel like he runs into the problem. Like, if it's a player you're trying to get rid of, great, because that means we only got to pay you that, and then you're gone. But with Lamar Jackson, you want to keep Lamar Jackson. He's a 2-time MVP. You want to keep him as your quarterback for your franchise. Now, by all means, on the other side of that, I could be completely wrong. If the Ravens don't value, which I don't know how they couldn't, but if they don't value Lamar Jackson as much as I do, as far as being a franchise quarterback, then they can, by all means, let him walk, draft a quarterback, and hope for better results. Will that be smart? In my opinion, absolutely not. But everything eventually has to come to an end, right? They've given Lamar Jackson 8 seasons to, I guess you would say, prove the fact that he can get to a Super Bowl, even though, once again, that's not a individual accomplishment. That's a team accomplishment. And if the team isn't good, then you're not going to any Super Bowls. But if that's their reasoning, let me put it like this. I could picture that being their reasoning for moving on from Lamar Jackson. And if they do move on from Lamar Jackson, I don't know what the future for the Baltimore Ravens would look like. To be completely honest, with processing it as I am right now, it would look like a lot of bad seasons. That's what it would look like. I'm just being completely honest with you. It would look like a lot of bad seasons. No matter who's out there receiver, it would look like a lot of bad seasons. Because I don't feel like no quarterback can handle the pressure of filling the shoes of a Lamar Jackson. And what I mean by that is this. This would never happen, but the Chiefs get rid of Patrick Mahomes. Tell me who possibly could fill the shoes that Patrick Mahomes left there. They trade Patrick Mahomes to some team, and they get a new quarterback straight out of the draft. Who is going to fill the shoes? I feel so bad if that was to ever happen. I feel so bad for that quarterback they would try to get to replace Patrick Mahomes, because he's going to have a nightmare of a first season and a second season and a third, because everything he does, this is all he's going to hear. Well, okay, he wins his first game. Yeah, but he ain't Patrick Mahomes yet. Okay, he gets him to the playoffs and loses. Yeah, but he ain't win no Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes would win the Super Bowl. Oh, well, yeah, he didn't get to the AFC Championship. Oh, well, yeah, he didn't do this. Oh, Patrick Mahomes did that. Or Pat did this. Pat did. It's going to everything that quarterback does is going to be compared to Patrick Mahomes. Everything. He's going to have a nightmare of a beginning of his career. Same thing with Lamar Jackson, in my opinion. Same thing with Joe Burrow, in my opinion. Same thing with any of these elite quarterbacks that we have that we're blessed to have in the NFL today. You replace any of them and have just a quarterback come in out of the draft and just replace these guys. I feel so bad for them. And I know people, well, they're making millions, so they shouldn't feel any way. They're making millions of dollars. Yeah, but millions don't make your mental health better. That doesn't. It make you feel better, but it don't make you. You still have to go to work every day. You're going to work, and you still have to deal with the pressure of that the fan base looks at was all world, and now you have to fill their shoes of what they left there. So I feel so bad if that's the route the Ravens are going, which I don't think they are, but the long shot that they are going this route of trying to move on from Lamar Jackson, I feel so bad for the quarterback they're going to try to replace him. I really do, because he's going to have so much pressure. Number one, pressure number one to perform, and because he's going to have pressure of expectations. That's what he's going to. The pressure of expectations and the pressure of being better than Lamar Jackson. That's the thing he's going to have to worry about. It's no longer he can no longer be a developing player. That's out the window. When he gets drafted to the Ravens, if hypothetically the Ravens move on from Lamar Jackson, that the pressure of that is gone. The pressure of you being a developing player, that's out the window. No, you have to be better than Lamar Jackson, play better than Lamar Jackson, do better than Lamar Jackson as far as leading the team to further heights than Lamar did. Then you also have to deal with the pressure of the fan base picking you apart from the aspect that you aren't living up, I guess you could say, to the expectations of Lamar Jackson. That's going to be a nightmare. And don't think he's going to be dealing with it. The Ravens are going to be dealing with it. If you think the media isn't going to take every chance they can to try to put that hypothetical new quarterback and ask him questions and ask the team questions about what's having him be the quarterback over Lamar Jackson, they're going to take every opportunity to do that. So I would just hope that's not the route they're going, because it is not going to be pretty. I'm going to just tell you that now. It is not going to be a pretty sight. So the Ravens, I think that they need to hurry up and get this contract done, figure out something to do, because the more they wait, the more that price goes up for Lamar Jackson. That's how I look at it. The more they wait and try to, okay, we're going to do this, do that, the more that contract goes up for what Lamar Jackson is going to want. So I think they need to hurry up and get it done. They put themselves in this situation to where they have to pay Lamar Jackson. So now you have to pay Lamar Jackson, get the deal done. That's what I feel like. But I really hope they're not going the route of trying to move on from him, because I feel bad for their franchise as far as that. But hurry up and get the deal done, Baltimore. Don't let the two-time MVP walk out the door. That's what I say.